So that's where I think there's potential optimism for Arsenal. That it's not City, because as we're saying, we know City we know they can go on those runs. Also, I would say there are sufficient variables about this season, because we still have the potential outcome of the Manchester City hearing. All sorts of, also the absence of Rodri, even if there's no outcome to that, or City are found innocent, and the table stays as is. The very fact Rodri's out creates another uncertainty where, you know, it does feel like we have this conversation at every point in October, November, where, oh, this season the points could be lower, it could be 80. And if the threshold for the title is 80 points, it does create a more open campaign. And yet then it usually creeps up towards 90 anyway. I think the bigger issue for Arsenal is just that if the season does go as normal, they have lost that ground now. But I mean, I think because Arsenal through this spell, there's a natural tendency to, I suppose, talk about, you know, the team being derailed, where there's bigger issues. For me, I just put it down to it's the wrong spell of form at a point where they are missing. Okay, it's not maybe the injury crisis other people are talking about or laughing about even because the number's missing, but it is still injuries to key players. Yeah. Odegaard being the main one. And I think, I mean, you can weather that for 2 or 3 games. But once it goes on longer, that's when you start to see gaps. And there was that one moment yesterday where Trossard, who has been brilliant in his role for Arsenal, but there was one moment where he was in the Odegaard position to play that key pass, and it wasn't an Odegaard ball. And that's where you see those sort of gaps. Like, I mean, again, Arsenal, as we saw last season, they do have that capacity to go and run themselves. They did face a similar spell to this around Christmas last year when they lost to West Ham and Fulham. So it wouldn't have any longer-term concerns. It's just about whether, if it comes down to it, this actually makes the difference.